We are all aware of climate change and biodiversity loss. We all know that the sustainability of the planet threatens every aspect of human life. For actuaries, it's on the agenda through risk modelling, financial reporting and investment choices. But how much are the oceans a part of the conversation? There is a substantial economic cost to climate change, not just an environmental one. And the oceans are no small part of this, at 70% of the planet. We rely on them for oxygen production, carbon capture and fish supplies, and for our globalised economy through the shipping, transport and energy sectors. The so-called blue economy is said to be worth $24 trillion, equivalent to the 7th largest economy by GDP.
So protecting the ocean from an actuarial perspective is likely to play a very important role, I think, a fundamental role in preserving the futures of pension scheme members, insurance policyholders, and other people that we as actuaries work for on a day-to-day basis. Scientific
data shows our oceans are being damaged by human activity and climate change, with the deadly trio of effects: warming, acidification, and deoxygenation. The UN estimates that 1.1 degrees C increase in ocean temperature today has resulted in 60% of the world's marine ecosystems being degraded or unsustainable. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, humans are the primary driver of ocean warming. With this, greater efforts are being made by governments and campaigners. In 2025 alone, David Attenborough's documentary Ocean was released. The UN hosted its third Ocean Conference, and the International High Seas Treaty, also known as Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction, was ratified to protect more marine areas legally from 2026. So what is the potential impact of a depleted ocean and weaker blue economy on the actuarial profession?
So I think from an investment perspective, there's a clear risk here. There's a risk of stranded assets, for instance, so parts of the portfolio that may suffer in future because of some of these environmental damage, some of those consequences there. There's also a risk to, if you do nothing, you at a systemic level might have implications from climate biodiversity issues that will have detrimental impact on the economy and people's livelihoods. And from an insurance perspective, it's similar. I think there's a long-term systemic issues that we need to be mindful of and think about here.
If the blue economy suffers, this causes impacts across investments, pensions and insurance. For example, for investors, a weaker ocean health can mean declining returns on key sectors across shipping, coastal real estate and tourism. Also, insurers will also have to face growing natural catastrophe risks, which really stem from coastal flooding, marine-linked weather extremes, and this increases claims frequency and severity.
And there are additional challenges.
I think a lot of the ocean-related issues are related to economic externalities. So for instance, who should be paying for that plastic pollution that's produced, ends up in our oceans? What's the hidden costs on the environment of deep sea mining? Some of these questions are very difficult, very hard to tackle and grapple with, and that makes it very challenging, to really think about oceans in a meaningful way.
But with challenges come opportunities. Supporting the blue economy will involve huge amounts of investment. It is estimated we will need $1 trillion for transitioning shipping to low carbon, $840 billion for investing in offshore wind energy, and $200 billion for sustaining fishing and seafood. Alongside complying with regulation, actuaries can play a role by using financial innovations, such as designing parametric insurance products and investing in blue bonds.
Actuaries can make a positive difference in protecting ocean health in many ways. So, for example, in insurance, pricing models can be developed to include protective value of nature-based defences like reefs and mangroves, which really help to reduce coastal flooding losses. And actuaries can also stress test longevity and morbidity assumptions for climate impacts, such as heat stress, waterborne diseases, and food insecurity from fish populations, which are reducing.
So in terms of allocation, we're starting to see more and more interesting opportunities and strategies focused on the oceans, and this is across the spectrum of asset classes. So blue bonds are an interesting example. We're seeing some equity strategies focused on ocean and nature restoration more widely, and even some natural capital, private asset, real asset type strategies that consider ocean restoration. So some of these are quite nascent, but we are starting to see more in this space and more developments, which is great to see.
Contributing in this way to protecting ocean health means promoting the blue economy, and that means helping to secure our financial future. For more on this topic, see the September-October issue of The Actuary, or visit theactuary.com.